From the beginning of the Industrial Revolution to the modern-day manufacturing process, factories have been an integral factor to the function of society. From cars to our phones, almost every component or product that we buy has had some process of machining. Don't go away, as we'll be taking a deep dive into the process of manufacturing. Hello everyone, today we're going to be taking a deep dive into the world of manufacturing in our show, Work in Progress. I'm here today joined with Ray Mark. Mr. Mark, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm pretty confident about the show, and I just want to say thank you for coming on.
Oh, you're welcome.
Well, with that being said, let's get into our show. Mr. Mark, what exactly is manufacturing?
Well, manufacturing is a process where we try to create an item or a product through factories and machines instead of doing it by hand.
That's pretty interesting, actually. So, do you think it would ever compare to the video that we're going to show here right now? It's called What is Manufacturing? It should give us a broad idea of what exactly is manufacturing.
Sounds good.
It moves not that quick, and it is very, very light. Okay. So it can work with people. So this is the most important thing.
In addition to being safer, the collaboration proves to be more productive. A study conducted by MIT researchers found that human-machine groups were more efficient than teams wholly comprised of one or the other. They also reduced human idle time by 85%.
So, Mr. Mark, would you say that robots are very much integrated into the workplace usually and automated?
Absolutely. So we've come a long way from just doing it where it's just man putting the things together on a conveyor belt. So now we've got a lot of robots that we program, and we have the robots doing a lot of the manual labor instead of a person actually doing it.
That's actually very interesting. I always thought most machining was usually done by people, but it's kind of interesting to think that a lot of it is automated itself. So just want to say, did you know that most of manufacturing is done by robots? Up to 64% of all manufacturing is usually automated. And I found that very interesting completely. It was kind of mind-blowing that so much of it was already automated.
Well, with all of the precise, intricate things that need to be done, and if the pieces need to be put in a certain spot, the automation would help to make sure that everything is going to be done that way.
Some of the machinery I know about, CNC machines, I'm actually getting certified for those right now.
Oh, that's awesome.
So,
very
yeah,
cool.
no. What I find interesting about CNC machines is that they're already automated. You just have to be there to control and just tell it what to do. It's kind of like coding at an aspect. And I find it very interesting because a robot does a lot of the work and it's able to do it quick and precise. And it's very interesting that we are able to jump from 30 years where it used to be usually people doing it by hand.
Yep.
Now it's just robots. So I have a video right here. It's called Robo Revolution. It'll give us a broad aspect about how robots are integrated into the workplace.
Awesome. Let's take a look.
It moves not that quick, and it is very, very light. Okay. So it can work with people. So this is the most important thing.
In addition to being safer, the collaboration proves to be more productive. A study conducted by MIT researchers found that human-machine groups were more efficient than teams wholly comprised of one or the other. They also reduced human idle time by 85%.
So, Mr. Mark, I'm just wondering, what would you say would be the main job in an automated workplace, like a machining factory?
Again, to probably put pieces together, but making sure that they're all going to be the same, and that way it's going to be detailed and accurate.
So do you think a lot of the robot-assisted help, do you think that's a good factor or a bad factor in society based on jobs and such, like jobs being taken from people?
Well, I mean, it's one of those things that you still have to program the robot, you still need to maintain the robot, you need to code the robot, but the manual task of it, again, there is human error when you're going to be doing it by hand. If you're going to be using a robot, hopefully it's more precise that way.
Yeah, I think that too. I think a lot more quality comes from robots, but you still need a little bit of a human touch to make sure that quality is going to be perfect every time.
Yep, absolutely.
So with that being said, we're going to head to a commercial break, but don't worry, we'll be back with Work in Progress.
Mike Rowe on the skills gap and how a national nonprofit student organization called Skills USA is trying to fill it.
So the thing about Skills USA that's so cool, and the reason that my foundation has supported it for years, is that it's deliberately focused on celebrating a skill 3 million jobs right now exist in the trades and transportation and commerce. The skills gap is real. Training kids and getting them excited to do the jobs that exist ought to be job one. Skills USA does that in a big way. It's about excellence and competition and being good at what you do, and eventually, through all of that, learning who you are. Skills USA is working.
Learn more at skillsusa.org and microworks.org.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Work in Progress. I'm Warren Hicks, your host. I'm here joined with Ray Mark. Mr. Mark, I have a big question. Do you know anything about precision machinery?
I know a little bit, but not much.
I know that precision machinery, it usually, just like I said or before, CNC machinery, very precise. And we're going to show a video here called Precision Machining. It will give us a broad aspect about how precision machining is such an integral part of the manufacturing field.
Great field. Long term, you've got a lot of people that are going to be retiring in the field, so they always need good machinists everywhere. A lot of places have their own machine shops. That way they have their own on-site people that do strictly nothing but machine.
Mr. Mark, if a person was to do the same exact thing as a robot here in this video were to do, precise cutting, like multiple times in a row, how long do you think it would take for them to cut out the metal to the same specifications?
Oh, it probably would take a very long time.
Yeah, that's what I think too. That's why I think automation could be a good thing and a bad thing, just based on jobs, but also in quality. Do you think automation or robots are necessary in most workplaces? Like not like only CNC machinery areas, but like the workplace in general?
Absolutely, because it will make the work a lot faster.
Do you think there will be more jobs like this in the future that will have to do with robotic integration, where you're supposed to be with the robot as well and work with them?
Yeah, I really do believe so, and that's why we need people who are going to be able to code, program the robot. Those are important jobs to help with the process.
So my question is, do you think precision machinery, or not precision machining, automated workplace, do you think that'd be a very important job for high schoolers to know about?
Absolutely. So, because again, if they know how to code and they can program the robot, that'll be a great career field for them.
So I actually have a fact which is very interesting. Precision manufacturing and jobs of that place are usually the safest and are in extremely high demand. They're very safe and secure because once you get the specifications, they usually train you on how to do it. You're trained for it, so they usually come back to you, so you can like get a safe and secure job. So do you think students should explore career options with anything like this?
Absolutely. I think that if they have the opportunity to start to learn how to code and get into robotics and just be part of that process, I think it's a great opportunity for them.
So I have a video right here. It's about hundreds of students getting into the precision or automated field. So why don't we show this right now?
We now have over 2,900 students between Martin Luther King and Southwest Campus here.
The Institute is designed for students who have an interest in areas such as transportation, construction, and manufacturing.
Students have a great opportunity here to learn some technical skills that are industry standard. Like every employer out there, as you know, there's a growing industry presence here, and they all have a set of standards and skills that they want to learn, and they have the opportunity here at St. Philip's to learn them.
Students in this lab use these machines to create everyday items, small or large, like this bottle opener that can be used in our everyday lives.
So we're kind of getting cut short, so we have to throw the break right now. So, Mr. Mark, just a quick question before we do anything. Just do you think, just so we have like a little bit of a cliffhanger, do you think students should get into this thing? But we'll be get into any type of this field. So we'll be right back with Work in Progress.
Mike Rowe on the student organization known as Skills USA.
Well, everybody talks about high unemployment. It seems to me that the real problem is the skills gap. There are opportunities available, millions of them. Skills USA is on the front line. They're encouraging soft skills and specific skills. They're the connective tissue in between the opportunities that exist and the hopes that a lot of parents and kids have for their own future.
Learn more at skillsusa.org and microworks.org.
Skills USA, champions at work.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Work in Progress. I'm your host, Orrin Hicks. I'm here joined with Mr. Mark. Mr. Mark, do you think the advancements in manufacturing in this career would be like very important, like the manufacturing, like how it went from one thing to the other?
Oh, absolutely. Yep. Definitely.
So like the let's say, like how we can go in from manual to automated industry. So we have a video called History of Manufacturing. It should show us a little bit of how we went from manual to automated places in industry. So why don't we cut to that video?
The origin of milling machines isn't precisely known, but this is certainly where the process began, and small shops implemented new ideas that pushed the technology forward. In 1783, the famous London clockmaker Samuel Rahe invented a milling machine, and in 1795, Eli Terry of Connecticut began using a mill to produce wooden clocks. This introduced interchangeable precision parts to the clock industry, which completely changed the way clocks were produced. Between 1814 and 1818, the earliest development of true milling machines took place at the Springfield and Harper's Ferry Federal Armories. During this time, Eli Whitney, who also invented the cotton gin, produced the first true mill, which is the oldest one still in existence. Then in 1860, Brown and Sharp developed a universal milling machine that solved the issue of three-axis travel, allowing for the milling of spirals like you see in the flutes of a twist drill. During this time, lathes continued to see technological advances as people started to use steam power and insane pulley systems to drive their spindles. If you just Google belt-driven machine shop, you can find some crazy pictures of how these shops function. It doesn't look too safe.
So, Mr. Mark, don't you find it kind of crazy that we developed manufacturing to such a degree?
I think it is pretty crazy how far we've come.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Do you think the advancements in this field would influence the growth of society?
Oh, absolutely. Without the manufacturing, I think that we would still be back with stone sticks.
100%. So we're starting to run low on time. It seems that we ran a little bit over, but we hope this show gave you valuable insight about the manufacturing field. I would like to give special thanks to Mr. Mark for joining us again here today, and we're talking about his experience and his advice for students who may be interested in this kind of field, and for showing us how and thank you for coming to our show, and have a good night.